Once upon a time, in the ancient land of Egypt, a great plague had befallen the people. Pharaoh, the ruler of Egypt, had been stubborn and refused to let the Israelites, who were enslaved in his kingdom, go free. As a result, the mighty God of the Israelites, Yahweh, had sent a series of 10 devastating plagues to convince Pharaoh to change his mind. The second plague brought upon Egypt was a swarm of frogs. Frogs began to appear everywhere, in the homes, in the streets, and even in the palace. They multiplied rapidly, covering every inch of land. The croaking of the frogs echoed through the air day and night, causing great distress to the Egyptians. Among the Israelites, there was a young boy named Levi. He was known for his kindness and love for nature. Levi had always been fascinated by frogs and spent much of his time observing them near the riverbanks. While others found the plague unbearable, Levi saw an opportunity to help both his people and the frogs. Levi approached his family and shared his idea. He believed that if they could gather as many frogs as possible, they could relocate them back to their natural habitat, away from the Egyptian homes. His parents admired his compassion and agreed to support him in this endeavor. Word spread among the Israelite community about Levi's plan, and soon everyone joined in. They worked together, carefully collecting the frogs one by one and placing them in large baskets. Levi's father constructed a temporary enclosure near the riverbank, where they would keep the frogs until they could be safely released. Days turned into weeks, and the Israelites continued their tireless efforts. They remained patient and determined, knowing that their actions were not only helping their own people but also bringing relief to the frogs. They hoped that by showing kindness to these creatures, they would demonstrate their respect for all living beings. As the number of frogs in the enclosures grew, the Israelites realized they needed a way to transport them back to the river. Levi, always resourceful, came up with a brilliant idea. He fashioned small rafts out of papyrus reeds, creating miniature frog habitats that could float on the water. Each raft was carefully loaded with frogs and gently set afloat on the river's current. The Israelites watched as the raft sailed away, carrying the frogs back to their natural homes. They were filled with joy, knowing that they had played a part in restoring balance to the land. The frogs disappeared from the Egyptian households, and peace returned to the people. Impressed by the compassion and unity displayed by the Israelites, Pharaoh finally relented and allowed them to leave Egypt. The Israelites, led by Moses, embarked on a journey towards their promised land, grateful for their freedom and the lessons they had learned during the plagues. And so, the story of the frogs swarming the land of Egypt became a testament to the power of compassion, unity, and respect for all living creatures. The Israelites carried these values with them as they ventured into the unknown, forever cherishing the memory of how their kindness had brought relief not only to themselves but also to the frogs who had once plagued their land.